9:01, so I'm going to just get rolling. Feel free to, I'm going to mute everybody, but you are allowed to unmute yourself to ask questions. And I totally encourage you to ask questions. This is being recorded, and I will make it available online within a day or so. And hi, Ken. Welcome. So let's get rolling here. We're all about meaningful content, getting customers with meaningful content. There's a term called content marketing, and that's really what we're what we're dealing with today. So let's see. I'm sorry, I'm having a little screen issue right now. Okay, so there's a difference between marketing and content marketing. Marketing is traditionally buy my stuff. Here's how this stuff will make you feel. Here's the need we're fulfilling. And it's a lot of getting people to your website or getting people to your door. One time I was told the difference between sales and marketing is everything you do to get the person to walk into your store, and then once they're in your store, everything is sales. I kind of believe that, and you can make a translation to that online if you want. But what we're really talking about is content marketing, and that is what's working today. Content marketing does not say constantly, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy this, buy that, buy this, because people really get turned off by that and they run away. Imagine if on your social media feeds, everything was buy my product, this sale, that sale. It would just be an ad, and you would probably stop watching it, just like if on TV it was just all ads and no relevant, meaningful content, you'd go away. So some people are just starting on social media or trying to build a following, and I've seen so many times where people, okay, I got my page up, but no one liked it. And yeah, it's kind of like, of course, no one liked it because you haven't invited people, you're not putting compelling content up there. You need to work on getting people there, and you need to work on getting a loyal following. And there's some techniques that you can do that work. So there's kind of two different ways of saying it: know, like, and trust, or show, tell, sell. And I'll kind of walk through that process for you. You want to be perceived as the expert or in your field. You want to be known as the person that is like you live and breathe everything that your business is about, because you're so passionate about it and you love it. And so one of the ways to show that is by reposting other people's content. So that demonstrates like, wow, this person is out there in every nook and cranny of the web and looking for interesting content, and they're curating it, they're filtering it, and then they're putting it out there for me to read. Wow, that person must be knowledgeable. I relate to these posts that they're posting. Really informative. I don't have time to read all those articles about things and then digest them and make a kind of a short, smart comment about it. So they're doing it for me. I'm going to like their page and I'm going to follow them. So what's happening is when you share someone else's content, the original poster is getting eyeballs from your activity. Your friends, your fans are seeing their posts. They like that. You always want to have people share. You put it out on social media, you want tons and tons of people to see it. So you're helping the original content creator get more eyeballs. And so as you progress and get more comfortable with social media and have some following, you can start creating your own original content with great photos and on-topic conversations. You're inviting engagement. You're giving credit where credit is due, and you are posting that as original content. Maybe it links back to your webpage. But now other people are sharing your original content. So let's say you had 200 followers on social media, and you post something, and one of your followers shares, retweets your content. And they have 2,000 followers. Now you're in front of their 2,000 followers, and someone else shares your original post. And however many followers they have, now you're in front of their audience. So this is where it gets exponential. And you become known as an expert. And then people will say, oh, wow, I like that post. I'm going to go back to the original content creator and like their page. So that's a way of growing your following. And basically then and only then you've built up trust, are you allowed to sell? Not allowed to, you could do whatever you want, but you're gonna discredit yourself if you just start blasting out, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. You want to build credibility on social media. So is that good? Does anyone have any questions? Cool. Okay, let's move on to this. What are some of the posts that people like? And I would appreciate it if people unmuted themselves and let's just get some feedback of like what people think works or doesn't work. You could also use the chat if you'd like. What are some of the posts that you like? What are the things you follow? Katie, I think you're unmuted. Yes, no?
Yeah, but I don't, right at this point, I'm talking about probably Instagram and Facebook. I pretty much just check on my family, and they're all in sales of sorts, and they're amazing how well they know all these tools. They work at like you can't believe.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they haven't skipped a beat during COVID. If anything, they've gotten busier and more business, but they're just on top of all this stuff. And so, like I say, I start just, I'm just following family right now.
Okay, cool, thank you. So anyone come on, throw something out where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't like it when people do that, or I love it when people do that. Any things that, yeah, go Jenny.
I think humor is really a good one. Things that make me laugh. I think they're very creative. And just it's just something that catches my eye, like something unusual, or like I'm real sensitive to composition and color and all that. So just kind of that area.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, do you guys know this hand? I think the younger folks do that. It's just like, yeah, scroll on, scroll on, scroll on, and people are just, this is what you see people at the cafes or wherever. They're just this, and to get their thumb to stop on your post is challenging.
And like you said, the explicit selling is, if people do it over and over again, I just unfollow.
Yeah, exactly. So, like this is my pet peeve is cat pictures. I have a cat. I love cats. I'm all into cats, but I don't want to see your cat picture. If especially I'm on your business page. Yeah, don't put your cat picture. Also, so one other thing I don't like is I'm actually doing it now. It's like I don't like this, or when businesses um, are compare themselves and they're like, I'm better than. Um, it's I'd rather see them talk positively about themselves uh, when it comes to posting. So this just goes along the lines of the kind of show, tell, sell. Um, Content curation is I'm out there looking at all the different social media and I'm posting it to my story or posting it uh, to my page. And there's ways of doing that. You just don't like post it and run away because the idea of social media is to be social. And that means engagement and talking to people and responding. Then there's the original content creation, which is awesome. Um, Platforms like LinkedIn really appreciate, actually all platforms really appreciate that you create content. They like it when, let's say you make a short video, that you post it. You don't post it on YouTube and then link the YouTube. You post it onto their platform, and they want your content on their platform, and they make you bubble up to the top more. So content creation is super powerful when you link. If you link to, at minimum, it goes to your social media page. But the real gold is if you go back to your website. So for example, if you had a blog, then you would, you would have them go back to your webpage. So I'm just going to look at a couple questions. One from Sonia. Posts are good. She likes that laughing, and I think humor is so delicate because some people either won't get it or they might be offended, and so it's done well. It's super awesome. Okay, and then engagement is really where you want to be, where people are saying, oh, I love that too, or what about this, or what about that? Well, hey, I've experienced that as well. Here's some good solutions. If you want more, visit my website. I have a whole blog post on it. Though that type of stuff is really powerful. Okay, so content curation, we're going to get into that. Hashtags, people don't know what hashtags are. People use them in a bunch of different ways, and we will get into it a little bit later, but hashtags are a super good way to reach new audiences and add some context to what you're posting. Richard asked about political views. Yeah, I mean, on business, it's business. Don't mix business with your cat or your political views or your baby pictures or those types of things. Of course, there are exceptions, and I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, I love cat pictures," or "I put cat pictures on my website, my business page, and people like them." Um, I really can't argue with that. I could just say that's my preference is not to mix personal and business. There are some exceptions. Let's say you have a baby clothing store and you have pictures of your baby in the new, Converse baby, booties, then awesome. That's great. That's lifestyle. Okay, content creation, asking permission. This is huge. So there's a lot of stealing, plagiarism going on. Other people have taken the time to do a super awesome photo. You can't just screenshot it and crop it and use it in your post. That is plagiarism. And more, there's more and more tools that can kind of find you out. And it could do a lot of damage to your reputation if you're caught or called out on that. There's an elegant way of doing it, which is, even if you think it's a competitor, say, hey, you reach out to them and say, I love your post. Would you mind if I borrowed your photo? I will give you credit. And then you link to them. And there's this social exchange. There's this dance that people do because everyone wants more followers. And if you do it properly, they're going to say yes, and they're going to become an ally instead of upset at you. And so it's along the same lines as crediting. You may be able to share someone's post, but it's also nice to say, you know, photo provided by, or give them a shout out within the copy of your post. And you can use the @ symbol for that, or link to their page. Commenting. So when you go share a post, it's great to do all the things I just said, but also on their page, you can make a comment, because that's going to give them more social media clout and more juice. The more comments and the more active a post is, the more it bubbles to the top and is shown in people's feed more, depending on the algorithm of the platform. So commenting is great, because you not only want people to comment on yours, but you're commenting on them. It's reciprocal. No cat pictures. And a variety of posts is good. Oftentimes I encourage people to, when they're posting, to create a calendar, an editorial calendar that is, you know, on Monday I'm going to post about some lifestyle photos. On Wednesday I'm going to post about where stories about my suppliers. Let's say you have a clothing store and you buy organic fabric from India, and then you tell a story about the village that the clothing's made in. I mean, the fabric's made in. So that's interesting. Like, oh wow! Like if I buy this person's clothing, I'm also supporting these people in this village. And so you want to mix it up, and then after you get the ball rolling, then it's like, and by the way, we're having our fall sale, or enter our contest, or there's a great top 5 ways to prolong the life of your hand-dyed clothing, and come to my website and download the information. That's a great kind of post. So I'm looking at yeah.
I'm very new to Instagram, and I keep getting these little, it just says hello. Is that their way of commenting? Because I've been saying, well, hello, what can I do for you? And nothing. So I didn't know if hello is a button you push that counts as a comment, if they're trying to help me or what.
I'm not exactly sure the context of this. So you go, what platform are you talking about?
Instagram.
Instagram. And they just say hello?
Right.
I guess they're just wanting to interact with you. Jenny, do you have some comment on that?
They're not responding. It might be like bots. I've heard
It's
of
a bot,
where
yeah.
they just, throw things in there for some reason, or maybe you'll follow them or whatever. I don't know. know the purpose of that one, but
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's talk about bots for a second, since we're on that. Um, there's this concept that the more likes you have, the more popular you are, the more important you are. It validates your business. If you come to a web page, let's say there's a new kind of gizmo that you've never heard about, and this is a company that invented that gizmo, and you go there and they have 1 million people, and they have videos, and they have this really mature, rich site. You're like, whoa, how come I've never heard of these people before? They're the bomb. Or if you went and there's it's crickets, and there's 3 people, and they don't even have a banner image, and you're like, fly by night, I'm out of here. So one of the things there that people do, especially when they're starting out, is to basically pay for likes. There's websites like Fiverr, Fiverr, I think it's spelled FIV, yeah, where it's like, pay $5 and I'll get you 100 likes or 1,000 likes. And they do, but they're all trash. They're all fake accounts. There's like these click farms that is like low wage people working that just go and like random pages. So you have to be really careful about that, because I can tell when I go to that site if the user or the people that like that page are real or not. And if I want to investigate, I'll really find out. Another thing with this hello is it is also kind of shady, because there is this reciprocity where I'll follow you. If you follow me, I'll follow you. And so some people they blindly like, I'll follow these people because they followed me. And it's this back and forth. So everyone wants to build up everyone else. But if it's not real, it's not real. And it will damage you, because you might be giving them access to comment on something. And let's say you sold candle holders, and they friended you, and now they're commenting on your stuff, and they're like, well, come to my site, it's better. Or trashing you. So you just have to be really careful. I don't know, have you guys heard about this these mystery seeds that are getting sent to people? I don't know how real this is or not, but supposedly all across the country, people are getting packets of seeds in the mail. And it's like, why? And they think it's something called a brushing scam, where somehow because they send it to you, that then they can create a fake rating. And they'll say, they'll give a 5-star rating, the best seeds ever. I mean, I don't understand this, how that works, but there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. But if if someone wants to follow you, click on them, look at who they are, or if they have a lot of mutual friends, that's a good way to kind of validate that they're for real. Okay, gonna move on unless anyone has any other questions. Okay, so what is out with content curation? Sorry. Stealing photos, not commenting, Yeah, keep your business page business. Sometimes platforms like Facebook, you have a personal page. If you have a business, make a business page. It has to be separate. And just keep it positive. There's so much negativity out there. People just want to jump all over everybody, and it's ruining the platforms. So don't hate, and try to stay positive. So there's something called netiquette. It's like etiquette, but for the net. I'm gonna try to, let's see if I can get this. I want to show a trick. I've shown some of you folks have um, taken some classes with me before, but this is important, and I want to show you this. So I am on Google. Just by a thumbs up, you guys can see the Google screen. Yeah, okay, cool. So I just did a search for flowers. I'm gonna hit this images button, and you see images on Google that this top row here are ads, and you can see it says sponsored right here. You know, those are ads. As I scroll down, these are, you know, Amazon and Wikipedia and all these different Teleflora, all these great pictures. And I'm like, oh, I like this picture, and I could just right mouse click on it and save it and steal it is what I would be doing. But there's a way to look for images. If you look at tools and user rights, and then go down to labeled for reuse, all of these lovely flower pictures you can use freely. You can feel good about it. You may want to credit the copyright holder. Wikimedia right here is a really good place for free images. There's lots of free images all over the place. So there's really no reason to steal images. Okay. So I probably don't really need to get into the specifics of sharing unless people want to see the mechanics of sharing. Maybe just by a thumbs up or the thumbs down. Do you want to see that or not? I think everyone's kind of mixed. How about this? I have some videos that we can watch in a bit, or that will have links. You're going to get the presentation via email, and as you can see that in the presentation, there's clickable links to help you through some of this stuff. I do want to go over something that, as an original poster, you're creating your content. You can say, I want this shareable. I want this shareable to my friends. It's private. There's all these different settings. So sometimes when you go to someone else's page and you're like, oh, I want to share that on my page, and you can't. It's like, why can't I do this? A lot has to do with their sharing settings. And you can throttle the privacy as well. But that's the beauty of your business page. If it's business, anyone should be able to see it. You should want anyone to see it.
Real quick, in my experience on Instagram, like I repost a lot of things and I don't ask for permission. I feel like the culture there is like, well, as long as you give credit, as long as they're public, that you can just share because you are giving credit. Is that not in your experience?
To be honest, I'm not as up on Instagram as some of the other platforms, but I think if you giving credit and they just by them allowing it to be shared is, you know, explicit permission to share. And I think that the giving credit is, but you know, other platforms like Snapchat, it's you're not, you know, they don't have it, so you share. And if you take a screenshot of it, the content owner will be notified. Like Robert just took a screenshot of my snap. You know, so it depends on the platform. Does anyone use Snapchat? I see. That's not Karen, but it's probably Karen's. Do you use Snapchat? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, got it. Your secret is safe with us. Can you have more than one business page is a question. You can have more than one business page if it's a different, you know, business. And Richard has a question about Facebook Workplace to throw me off if I don't join the new upgrade. I'm not even familiar with that, so I'm sorry I can't answer that question.
That's their new job and business posting site.
Oh,
Been around about 6 months.
okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know about that. There's, you know, Facebook dating and Facebook Marketplace and Facebook jobs and Facebook, you know, they're taking over the world. And then Sonia said something about Facebook pages not being good for promoting new events or sharing because you want paid ads. I use Facebook events all of the time. And I find it's awesome as far as getting the word out there. I actually don't like the interface that well for events. I'm a huge believer in doing events. And I will get to that in a bit. But there are things I really do like about making events. When you go to Facebook, you have a page, you say create a new event, and then you add a picture, you add a description, the time and date, tickets or not tickets. And then the people that like your personal page, who you are personally friends with, you can directly share to them, or you can share to your page. So your event is an event page it's like a node of your business page. But then when you share the event to your business page, then all the people on your business page get visibility. But some of the additional benefits to having an event is it's showing you're active, you're doing things. It could be a virtual event. I super encourage along this line of meaningful content. Let's say you had a Kung Fu studio and you're no longer meeting for in-person classes, but you are, you know, the top 5 ways to practice Kung Fu at home in a small place, or, you know, Kung Fu with your dog, or I don't know, you make something up that's interesting, that's giving them value. They tune in and it's like, whoa, I still have this relationship with the studio that I used to go to every 3 days a week that I love. I miss my friends. And now, like, you're not going to lose them. Like, I know that sometimes when there's a break in business, you lose the momentum, and sometimes clients go away and you never see them again. So events are a great way to do things. Also, Facebook has all these different sections. And then if you look at like an event calendar near me, what's happening near me? You show up, your event shows up there. Facebook has incredible search engine optimization, so events show up in Google. And so it's gets it out there way more. And then this is a little off subject, but what I like to do as far as events and Facebook is make the event, especially if it's a paid ticket event. Actually, it doesn't matter, paid or free. Put the event in Eventbrite, because Eventbrite has a huge audience. They have their own massive search ability. And when you make the event in Eventbrite, it can handle all your ticketing. And then Facebook and Eventbrite talk to each other. So you create it first in Eventbrite, and then you say in Eventbrite, send it to my Facebook page, and then it's all in your Facebook page. It creates a Facebook event. You don't have to recreate the Facebook event. You have the Facebook event in Facebook now. And then if there's tickets or free registration, they click on that button in Facebook. It uses the Eventbrite system for ticketing, and they never leave Facebook. So it's a slick integration between Eventbrite and Facebook. It expands your reach of your event. And so you really start showing up all over the place online. Cool. Hashtags. So in Instagram, if you search for a hashtag, and the example I did earlier, flowers, hashtag flowers, all these posts that have tagged themselves with hashtag flowers show up. So if you're doing research on organic hand-dyed wool in India, then you could do hashtag wool, hashtag India, hashtag fabric, do searches on those things, and a lot of information will pop up. So it's a good way to find out information, do some market research, learn, but it's also, if you're selling flowers, then you say, look at these beautiful flowers that just came in today. Get your loved one a bouquet for Valentine's Day. The people that are following you may see that post, but if you do hashtag flowers at the end, other people are going to see that as well. So here's something especially important on something like Twitter, where you have limited characters, or sometimes it depends on what platform you're on. Like this link right below, the YouTube link, that's a super long link. That would look ugly in your social media posts. So if you go to this website, bit.ly, there's a bunch of different services out there that do that. You copy and paste a long URL, and then it gives you a short URL. It just takes up less space. It looks neater. And, people aren't there to read a URL. They're there to read your post. So I'm gonna go and show you a few of these things. So here's YouTube, and I just want to do a couple sharing things. YouTube is this world's second largest search engine. It's the world's second largest search engine. Video is the most viewed type of media on social media. Advertising dollars, it's hugely disproportionate going to video. So what I'm saying is video is very important. I would suggest that you incorporate video into your social media offerings. But it's just a little bit about sharing. If you click this share button, there's all these different platforms you can share to. There's tons of platforms you can share to, or you could copy this link and put that into your post. And then this is a cool little thing. One of more things on pet peeves for me is that videos, I like short videos. I like 2 to 3, 4-minute videos, instructional videos on YouTube. On social media, I like 30-second videos. But let's say you came upon a video that was 1.5 minutes and you wanted to share it on social media, but the first 40 seconds is them going, and thank you for tuning into my last video, and and like and share, and aren't I fantastic, and here's my dog, and all this stuff. And it's just like, I just show me where the button is that I can't find. Like, just get to the point, please. So on YouTube, I do my viewers, you can see how I kind of scrolled it to 56 seconds of this 10-minute video, and then I share, and then I can click this, and it goes directly to, when someone clicks on my link from my social media, it goes directly to the 56-second mark. Another thing that you can do is, if you embed something, you can just copy this code and drop it right into your website, which is different than, I'll show you an example of this. I've created a video playlist where I have multiple videos on the same subject. And so I've used that embed code right here to embed a whole playlist. So when I click that, it drops down and all the videos in the playlist are available. So it looks clean, and it's a lot different than if you were to share in a different way on, if you just click the share button on YouTube. I want to show you another thing here. This is the Sierra Business Council. This is their website, and down here are their social media share buttons, and then this would just take me to, I believe it would take me to their Facebook page. So that is good, and you should have that on your website. You want to have people be able to share your content and get to your different pages, the platform of their choice. But I wanted to show you this blog here. Some of you may be familiar with Outside In. Erin Thiem was a presenter in one of our previous classes. And this is her blog. They run a hotel and a campground in Nevada City. And so this is the blog post. And I love it because it's not rent our room or room availability or check out our options, new pricing, or things like that. It's like, this is music in Nevada City, and it talks about alcohol-free cocktails at a fancy bar, and it's great. I want to come visit Nevada City. I'm like, ooh, I want to go there. Or maybe one person drinks and one person doesn't. Oh, perfect place. Let's go there. There's something about the theater. There's photo walks. There's all this cool stuff you can do. And I'm not seeing any posts on rent a room, make a reservation. Because if all the blog posts were about that, I would run away.
And yet right above that says rooms and rates. So that's helpful. They
Yeah.
have that option.
Totally. So this is content marketing, a great example of content marketing where I'm selling a room, but why? Why am I doing that romantic weekend trip? Why am I choosing Nevada City to have my wedding and rent out the entire darn hotel for the wedding party for a weekend? You know, so Nevada County weddings, it's huge. People come to this area to have their wedding from, you know, 100-mile radius. Back in the day, it was like a wedding factory here. And so there's a lot of decades of momentum for Nevada County, Nevada City for weddings. And so having content that is tailored to that is a service to people looking for weddings, but it drives them to this site and they're going to buy her product and or service. So let's click on this particular post. She also takes her photos and copyrights her photos. Maybe not on this page, but let's see. And I would imagine, oh, so if I were to share this, I'm going to click Facebook. And then this gives me the option of sharing, and it goes, oh, you can't see this pop-up window. It gives me this pop-up window where I could share to my news feed or story. I can pick that here. But what the point I'm trying to make here is that it goes directly to her specific blog post. It doesn't go to her homepage, even though this URL here says outside in it. I know it actually goes to the specific blog post. So that's great because I don't want to get a hotel room. I want to learn about weddings. Oh, and then now I've decided to have my wedding in Nevada City. Thank you, article. Now I'm going to book some rooms. So it's more indirect, but it's effective. So how are we doing? Is there questions? Anyone want to unmute themselves? We've covered a lot of stuff here. We're almost an hour in. Go ahead, Katie.
I'm right at this point where I'm looking for some photographs. Could you tell me one more time when you go, you click on images of flowers, and then what did you say you click on to drop down and find out which ones are okay to
Yeah, it's settings. I believe it's settings.
okay.
I'm just going to go back there and confirm. Oops.
Sorry to.
It's tools, usage rights, and labeled for reuse.
Thank you so much.
Mhm. Okay. Mm. Sorry, my screens are mixed up here. Okay. Sorry about this. Mm. My computer is going wacky. I'm sorry. Okay, so you have some fantastic content. You're talking about lifestyle. You're talking about all of these different aspects of the reason why people are interested in you. You have your core values of what your business is. You are providing a service to them. You are witty and interesting and good photos, and you're building up your credibility. And you want to get a wider audience. It's hard to grow your audience if you just have a page and then invite your friends. You might get 20 people, but how do you get more and more people? And so you do that is you share. So once the you have a post on your business page, I'll just use what will I use? You have a dog grooming business, and so you post something about dogs, or how to stop your dog from shedding. Um, Give them certain fish oil or whatever it is you do to stop your dog from shedding, and then you want to share it to a group. Well, there might be a group, a Facebook group for your local dog park. You might have a group that is, animal shelter, veterinarian, dog therapy groups, dog chiropractic, people interested, whatever it is, dog related, animal related. There's all these different groups that you are already a member of because you're interested in this stuff. And because you're a member of that and your business is a member of that, you're able to share to that group. Some groups have different policies about, explicitly no advertising, period. You will get booted from the group. So you have to work within those parameters. But if you share it to all those different groups, there's a group that is locally here in Nevada County called Nevada County Peeps. There's 20,000 people in that group. The page that I run has 2,000-ish people on it. If I post it on my page, fantastic. Those 2,000 people are very, very interested in what I have to say. They're my super people, my core customers, my core fans. And then if I post it onto Nevada County Peeps, there's some people might just not be interested in all. That's fine, but I'm reaching a much wider group. One time I have this list of all the different groups that I join and that I am a part of, and this is great. I've created something called a PR script, like a public relations script, where I'll say, write the post, format the picture for different platforms, Instagram and Twitter and all, you know, the different platforms like pictures of different sizes. So it gives me the steps to do. And then post it on Twitter, post it on Instagram, post it on Facebook. Once it's on Facebook, post it to this group, post it to that group, post it to this group, post it to that group. And so it becomes somewhat automated. And I also have groups of hashtags that are for, let's say if it's co-working, I run a co-working place. So if it's co-working related, I have co-working, a hashtag group of co-working. Or if it's education, a hashtag group for education. And then you can also ask other groups to share. So I can go into a group and say, share to this group, but some pages it won't show up on their main feed. But if they're quote unquote buddies of mine, hey, would you mind putting this post on your feed? They will. If they share it, it'll show up. So different platforms have different ways of doing it. Twitter, you just retweet it. Instagram has its own way of sharing. And so the idea is you make a solid post and then share it, and then those people will come back to you. So I have some links here, and I really want, I'm really hoping that we get some interaction going between us. And actually, I'm gonna just see if we can do that now. I'd much rather have you watch the video at a later time. And I'd just love to hear from anyone about the hour of content we've done and see if there's any questions. Katie, I know you've been great at asking questions. Maybe Ken or Sonia. Richard, go ahead.
You're giving so many great ideas about what to do, but what do you recommend for the hows, like how to use Instagram better? You know, I've taken so many classes at Sierra College, you know, and it's like the places where I can learn the mechanics of these different things that I choose to use. Do you have listings of things like that, maybe tutorials, or I guess that would be the classification I'm asking.
Cool. Okay, great. Thank you for that question. The way I do that, and it's probably like how a majority of people do it, is go to YouTube. And like if I just did a hashtag Instagram, let's see if I could. Hashtag Instagram. I wanted to learn about hashtag Instagram. I'll just kind of go through, like think out loud how I would go through it. This social media examiner, I've seen videos from her, and she's actually has a link in one of the presentations. I'm looking, this was 9 months ago, so it's fairly recent, but not, you know, yesterday. Half the content she has in there could be wrong. You know, Instagram could be 2 versions later. They're always making updates, but it's recent enough for me. So I'm comfortable with that. I see down here at the bottom right hand of the video, it's 10 minutes and 32 seconds. If this is really important to me, and I feel like I'm like already, let's say I'm not beginner, I'm an advanced beginner, and I want to bump up my game. I'll put 10 minutes into this because I know it's really important. I feel it's important to me. The guy down here is 20 minutes, and I'm just looking here, and he's like, that just seems like a ton of talking to me, kind of turns me off. But you know, all three of these top ones are, you can tell the look and feel is, there's a look and feel to it. It's actually very Instagrammy. But this top one again has 330,000 views. Okay, this seems pretty valid. There's got some people watching it. If it had, you know, 4 views, I don't want to be herd mentality, but I kind of have limited time, and this is how I'm gonna make my choices. Vanessa, I'm a big fan of. I subscribe to her channel. She's fantastic. But you could just see there's this kind of this look to a lot of these videos, and they're current right here. Hashtags don't work 2020. How much more current can we get than that? How much more on topic can we get than that? So awesome. Some of these other ones, yeah. So that's how I decide. And then I will look at, you know, does it look appealing? Do I know the person? How many views do they have? And then I will click on it. And if they aren't getting right to the point, I'm done. I'm going to the next one. And so that's how I look for quick tips and tricks. It's a lot of like, how do I use hashtags? How do I, but something like how to grow followers on Instagram might be a more in-depth video, and I'd allow that to take longer amount of time.
I have another question.
Sure.
I'm developing my grant writer skills. I've got a mentor now. And do you suggest getting really good at what you do, like something like that, before you start posting so you don't end up with making a mistake? You know what I mean? Starting prematurely in a sense. And somebody hires you and you do a bad job because you don't know that much yet. Is that question clear?
It is clear. What I will distill that down to is a really important point, and that's about vulnerability. Being vulnerable, not fronting like, hey, I'm an expert grant writer. Hey, I'm an expert this, or I'm a, you know, I'm a know-it-all, because you're not. And people can see through that. So authenticity and vulnerability is really where it's at on getting followers and gaining trust. So let's say there's two different posts. One is grant writing services. I specialize in grant writing for pet adoption, pet sanctuaries, or something like that. Send me your grant writing things. Well, maybe I might call you, but it sounds a little fishy to me. But something like, just launching my new grant writing service. I'm super into helping animals. It's my passion. I want this world to be, you know, full of happy, healthy animals. I'm looking for grant writing opportunities. Here are a few I've found. Or I'd be happy to volunteer some time for a limited time for your organization to help you with grant writing. So it's showing that you're really putting yourself out there, that you're, you know, maybe not expert at it, but you're wanting some skills. And what is important is that you love what you do and you're passionate about what you do. And it's not about being hired or how awesome you are. It's how passionate and driven you are to do the things that you want to do. That resonates with people. Hey, I'm just getting started in grant writing. I'd love to have a mentor. Anyone out there willing to mentor me?
I got that step up. Thank God.
You have that. So, or my mentor, my grant writing mentor, just shared with me these 3 amazing grant writing tips. You know, so it's sharing, it's giving, it's you know, the old way is like, I have this idea and I'm going to make this brochure and I'm going to do this pricing and I'm going to get these many clients, and then that stuff doesn't work anymore. But putting your, you know, just being like, hey, I'm just getting started. I'd love to help your organization. Let's talk.
Well, that's already worked. That's how I found Scooter's Pals, and they found me. So I'm well along. But thank you. Because would you recommend then, as you gain more skills, sort of updating to the fact that now maybe I'm on an intermediate level, et cetera, if you follow that question, you know, as I've gotten more things under my belt, to post them, like I'm working on being a certified grant writer, you know, all those things as they happen, posting them.
Yes. It sounds like LinkedIn is the best platform for you. So excited. I'm 2 classes away from my grant writing certification. I got my grant writing certification. You know, here's the types of projects I'm looking for. Here's what I really enjoy. You know, does anyone have any resource? I'm looking for, I'm not very good at the financial, you know, spreadsheets, or I know how to do finances, but I'm horrible at Excel. Anyone have any suggestions for Excel for grant writing, Excel resources for grant writers? You know, you're being vulnerable. It's not like, hey, I'm this awesome thing. And then you can say like, so excited. The first grant I wrote entirely myself got funded for, you know, $40,000 by the state, whatever. It's great to celebrate, but they're with you the whole time. They get to know you. They see that you're real, because now it's like, you know, I love teaching, and Zoom is, you know, it works. And some of you, I'm seeing your faces, some of you I'm not. But, you know, I'm starting to get to know a few of you, and I feel affinity towards you. And that's the same kind of thing you're trying to do on social media. That's what the real content is. I'm building a campground. Here are all the steps of the way. You're not even open. You can't even sell. You can't even take reservations. But you're like, open next summer. Cool. Sign me up. Put me on your mailing list. Thank you. Oh, or I might private message you and say, here's a resource you didn't know about. Or my uncle has a camping magazine. Should I tell him about you? You know, you just never know what happens. It's like this web
Another
of
question.
people.
One more.
Sure. And if anyone else, you know, feel free to just unmute yourself and jump in. So let's take one.
I have 2 Facebook pages. One is my dog sitting business, which kind of goes with the type of grants I write. And the other one is the gem and mineral business I've had for 30 years. Would it be best to somehow separate a lot of these things, or link the 2 that seem similar, like the dog sitting with the grant writing, since that's a lot about dogs? Do you follow that question?
Yeah. My gut is, say, separate those. Grant writing and dogs are 2 separate, dog sitting are 2 separate businesses. the dog sitting business might be turned into dog sitting and house sitting, or dog and cat sitting,
That's what I
or
do, yeah.
you know, or this, and your grant writing, you might be like, yeah, I will write a grant to save the rainforest. I'd be happy to save old growth trees. You know, I got the skills. And they're like, but your business is, you know, animal grant writing. I don't think you should write my, you know, tree grant. So
Keep them separate. That's your message.
yeah, keep them separate. But if you could create a story that, and a vision, and like, you're not about grant writing and you're not about dog sitting. You're about animal welfare, and you provide services in these things, then that makes sense to be under the same umbrella, and it gives you more leeway. So that's one argument to keep, you know, a way to join them. The other argument was like, I'm a professional grant writer. That's what I do. If you need grant writing, come to me. Even more so, I'm a professional grant writer for animal sanctuaries. That's what I do. If you have a grant for animal sanctuaries, I'm the national or international expert. I'm going to come to you. Oh my gosh, you charge that much? Well, you must be good. Okay, let's do it.
Thank you.
Someone had a question, Gail, about Alignable. It's a newish social media platform for business. To be honest with you, I signed up for it, and then I was just like, I can't do another thing. It feels somewhat like LinkedIn, but more job oriented. So that's my take on it. Gail, do you want to tell us what you think about it?
Hi, I'm trying to get ready to do a shift at the gallery, so I'm just popping in and out. I don't know, I just kept, someone had told me to sign up. I signed up. I'm getting all these emails, tell me more about yourself or whatever, and I don't know whether I should bother or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. One word of caution in signing up for any of these new services, what they want to do, you're like clicking yes, 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 okay, yes, yes, yes. Something like Alignable will be like, should we suck in all of your contact information? And then they start spamming your friends. Because they're like, oh, Gail has invited you to join Alignable. And it's like, you know, then your friends are like, Gail, what did you do? Did you give up my email? You know, so it could backfire. Katie, let's just, there's a couple more questions here. Ken asks, if you're very busy, is it advisable to hire a social media person or company to post for you? Yes, Ken, I totally, I'm doing that right now. I found the holy grail, a 16-year-old that's good on social media. Everyone's like, oh, I need to find a teenager that knows more about this than I do. I found them very, very, very hard to find, but lucky just for the short summer. But yes, Ken, with that, I really want to say that I've seen it backfire. I've seen people be very disappointed. I hired this person, I'm paying a premium, and they're just not getting the results I want. They're not posting what I want. They're not fill in the blank. They're not fill in the blank. I feel like with hiring a social media person, or anyone for that matter, like, you need to know what your end results and be able to provide really clear direction. I see that people are like, I just don't know about social media. Here, I hire someone that does. But they're not like, this is my core values of the company. This is why people buy from me. This is what when people walk into my store, they always say, I love your, decorations, or the only way I get business is by word of mouth, or any number of things that you give them that background information. You give them what you like, what you don't like. A great way to do that is, let's say, Ken, what's your business type?
We do air duct and dryer vent cleaning, and we made the mistake of not asking the questions that you're talking about. We hired a company called Main Street Hub, which is owned by GoDaddy, and we kind of out of sight, out of mind, didn't pay attention to what they were doing, but what they were doing was extremely spammy. So we paid them several $1,000s, and all that we successfully did was get permanently banned on Twitter under our company name for spam.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking at I'm looking maybe not at the 16-year-old neighbor's friend or daughter or whatever, but we're trying to find somebody that we can communicate with a little bit easier. And so I just was trying to see your take on it, and it sounds like you have given me the guidance I need to find the right type of person and make sure that they understand what we're doing and that we approve all of the content.
Yeah. So I'll just go a little bit more on that. A great tool is, you're in the Nevada County, Sacramento area, I'm imagining.
Yeah, we're based out of Lincoln, but we cover the greater Sacramento Valley.
Yeah. Okay. So go to Mike, heating HVAC company, Austin, or Ashland, or somewhere else. Find one on Facebook. Find some that you really like. You're like, oh my gosh, they're killing it. Locally, in this area, there's a company, as a good friend of mine, ABT Plumbing,
Mhm.
and they're killing it. They do a really decent job on social media. And why I say like go out of the area a little bit is that they're not your competitor, and just say, hey, call them up. Hey, I'm Ken. I'm out here in Northern California. I really like your site. I really like your social media. Could you give me some pointers? Or who do you have do yours? Oh, I have this great person. They live in Ogden. I highly recommend them. Here's their contact information.
Okay, good idea.
You see what you like and then copy it and even reach out to those people. Cool. And see you, Gail. Thank you for participating. Okay. I thought there was another question. Okay, we're good. Anyone else?
Hey Robert, I just wanted to say I just wanted to say that I liked your perspective on kind of like kind of calling them, and especially a lot of things you said about like alliances, because we have a lot of competitors that we so I'm in the catering business, so a lot of our like competitors are kind of also our allies sometimes. Like we kind of feed off of each other in terms of our ideas and stuff like that. But just kind of like I like your perspective in a lot of things, especially about kind of collaborating, potentially on larger projects and just getting resources. I was wondering if you had any thoughts about like content, because we're just getting started on social media. We actually never had to until COVID hit. Surprisingly, our company never really had to reach out because they had a lot of different ways of, much more older ways of connecting with people. Because some of the contracts, we had gotten through different means. But now because of COVID, we've had to do like a takeaway business, and then we have no presence of social media. So we're gonna go under in a couple of months if we don't figure something out really quick. And I was just kind of figuring out, like, for me to get started, like what kind of things would I look at, or like, would I try to find different organizations that do the kind of food that we do? Like, for example, we're really big on vegan food. So maybe I could find some posts on like vegan food and post them and try to start that conversation, because I'm kind of new at this. So
Okay. So vegan food, that's great. It's I love the, to narrow down on the audience. Is it just any kind of vegan food, or?
No, so we mostly do like Indian food, ethnic food, Indian food. But we do also have like pastas and salads and some Asian fusion food as well. So our thing is more like, it's more healthy, like healthy takeout food. People buy. So we have a huge customer base that's loyal, but we need more customers to stay in business because of COVID, basically.
And they just pick up at one location.
Exactly.
And you're only allowed to do that pickup at one location, or?
For right now, yeah. For right now, unfortunately, because of COVID. So we're just really getting, So I just figured, especially with the content, it's a great topic today. So
yeah.
For longer term, maybe helpful.
Okay, so why is there a reason why you have vegan food?
Actually, it's because we have vegetarian food, but vegan food is really big in our menu. The reason, I think, at least for us, is because as like a co-owner, we really believe in like its health benefits in terms of like for the body, for the mind. That's kind of like our we really kind of care about the environment. Really, it's more sustainable. It's more you just feel really good with it. Actually, I've taken a nutrition class, and the data backs up kind of like in terms of like, they've done numerous studies over the last few decades in terms of like how it's good for the body, how it's good for people that are recovering from heart disease and diabetes and things like that. So that's kind of our, but I need to put that in a more like polished way online, which I haven't been able to yet.
Okay, so I'm gonna just do a little bit of a stream of consciousness, and from what you've said.
Thank you, thank you.
So come get our food to go from our parking lot. $14.99 for lunch or whatever that is. That is okay occasionally, but that is not going to get you to where you want to go. You mentioned some of your core values or your belief in your belief system. It's mental health, physical health, environmental health, sustainability, which I guess environment and sustainability are related, highly related. So of those things, there's organizations that are not food that are also have mental health or physical health, animal welfare. Maybe you didn't mention animal welfare, but let's just throw that in there. So there's all these different organizations where you could reach out to them and say, like, hey, we would like to do a fundraiser for your organization. We'll donate 10% of for your sustainability program. We love, you're trying to ban plastic bags, or I don't know what it is. There's organizations out there. Align with them, offer them something, approach them by giving, as opposed to like, can I have? And everyone is content starved. Everyone wants meaningful content. So, just a new announcement, fundraiser, we're hoping to raise this much money. Thank you, so-and-so, your restaurant for catering business for providing the food and helping with our fundraiser. Now all of a sudden you're in their newsletter and they have 5,000 people. Those weren't your customers before. You also have your own loyal customers where you need to stay out in front of their mind, top of mind. So, hey, haven't heard from us for a while. Here are these great things we're doing to help our community, especially during COVID. We haven't lost sight. We're not just selling you food. We believe in what we're doing. So here are these other organizations. I know for a fact people are gaining weight during COVID because they are home a lot. There's like the COVID-10, or I don't know, there's different, people aren't moving around as much, and they're stress eating, and health is important. Healthy food is important. Health organizations are, they have everyone's email. So it's the story and what you're doing and how you're doing it that reflect your core principles. It's not, here's a vegan dish, $15. Come pick it up. Help us survive. We're desperate. Like, I see plenty of posts that really are like, uh-oh, they're in trouble.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. I think you just reminded me of why I got into this business like about 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. Is exactly what you said. And I think I've kind of lost sight of the fact over the years as we got successful and, all that. And then this year it's like, kind of back to basics and be like, hey, why are we doing this in the first place? And it's because of exactly what you were actually saying, which is, the story, like we want to provide nutritious food for people, to families. Like that's our main, like kind of motivation actually, right?
Yeah.
So it's just great to hear it from you. So yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd also be really careful, or not careful, but I would also say we take your health very seriously. Here are our protocols. Come to our website to download our protocols, because honestly, when I eat out, it's not for the same reasons as I ate out before. I'm eating out because I know the business owners and I want them around, and I want a vibrant downtown in Nevada City. And that's a lot of the reason why I'm buying online. I'm not buying online, picking up or going out. And I am concerned. I am very concerned about my health. And it's somewhat uncomfortable for me to do it. So there's some hurdles to go over, and it's not, I don't take that lightly, like life or death. It's serious. So I think along with all that other stuff, you should instill that sense of confidence in your customers that what you're doing is safe. Jenny, did you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment 2 more ideas on that for collaboration. One is like nutrition coaches, and you could be like, endorse them because you want people to be healthy, and then they could endorse you for healthy food. And then also health food stores, because I go to New Moon all the time, and I would love to hear about a vegan restaurant from them. And then you can promote them because you may not have the same, function that they have if they don't do catering and, you don't sell groceries. So.
Thank you, Jenny.
Good idea.
That's great.
Yeah, Katie.
What's the name of his restaurant?
So we're called Silver Spoon, but we're in Sunnyvale. I think I may have logged on to a different so I think you guys are up in Sacramento, is that correct? Or Nevada City? So yeah, we're in Sunnyvale, so we're a bit far away, but
Okay.
but thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of this. It doesn't matter where you're at, where you're from. Okay, cool. I guess we can get back to this slide show. Let's see. Content creation, hashtags. I got a tutorial video for hashtags. Asking questions when you make a post. And this also kind of goes back to vulnerability. Like some people are like, oh, I'm just launching a business and I don't know what to post about. I had someone recently advise, and they were doing a logo, and they were like, hey, Robert, what do you think about this logo? I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you post both logos up on social media and ask people what they want, which one they like better and why? And so it's great content. And then those people are feeling like, oh my gosh, I was a part of the creation of that business. And now they have, some ownership. from the business, and they have, they'll appreciate that. I had a say in their logo. That's huge. Could you imagine if you did that for Nike and you're like, yeah, I helped them with the swoosh logo. Talked about being vulnerable. Storytelling is huge. It's not like one and done. You're like, okay, thanks for the feedback. We took your advice and we redid the logo, and this is our final one. Thank you all for the help, your help, and then launch it. We just launched our website. This like this progress, and you take them with you, and you don't want to just keep on doing the same thing over and over. Let's see, what do we got? What's out? Preaching, not inviting interaction. That goes back to the previous slide with asking questions. So if you said, here's our new logo, people will like it, maybe, or people will maybe say like, right on, or nice, but it's not interaction. By asking, which one do you like better and why? They're like, this is, it opens the door for them to interact. Yeah, I guess too much, too little could go in two directions. One is too much, meaning posting, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing 4 times a day. That's not good. Or once a month post, you're not going to really be top of mind. So that's too much, too little. Or in Facebook allows, or people are tolerant of a little bit longer posts. Twitter, obviously, are short posts. But, gauge the length of your post. You don't want to be too verbose, and just get to the point and make it punchy. Spelling errors, this is one I'm horrible at because I'm horrible at it. And so I actually have this fear. This is going to vulnerability. I have a total fear of having spelling errors in my presentations. I just have to know that they're going to be there. So talked a lot about that. Bashing competitors doesn't really help you at all. Let's see. If my next button isn't working. Okay. So you really want it to be, get to the point, be clear, be fun, engaging, and have it reflect your business. And pictures are super important. I have some examples. There's this moon pie, which is kind of like edgy. And there's some different examples of social media posts that I feel are working, and you can check those out. So here's this diagram of where your content should be. You have your audience, and the vegan food, for example. Of course, they're interested in health, and they're interested in all of those things we talked about, but that's not all they're interested in. You might find that people that go to an Ani DiFranco concert, a huge percent of them are vegan. I'm just making this up, but you get the idea. So you go to this, some musician has a big audience and they attract vegans. So that's on topic, but maybe not on topic enough. You have your brand story and your perspective on content, and then that's right there where All by Sex intersects is a great place for you to be with your content. Company milestones are great. What you're developing, industry news, I guess it just depends on your business. I love customer spotlights and vendor spotlights. Let's say you're all about local, organic. We serve our vegan Indian food is sourced as much as possible, all locally and all organic. Here is we use Lundgren Farm for the rice because they're a B corporation and we believe in they treat their workers well and they et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it shows an affinity. Maybe the rice supplier will put you in their newsletter and you can reciprocate. And then customer spotlight is a great way. I'm sure you have loyal customers. That's a nod to them. You're helping them feel good about their choices. And also, when I see a picture of that 53-year-old vegan dude, I'm like, I'm a lot like Bill. I can relate to Bill. Bill goes there, I'm going to go there. So I have a connection with Bill, who you've spotlighted, and he's a good customer. And what you're doing, what are your core values and what are you doing about it? Those things are great starting points to write about. To get more engagement, I'll tell you a word that doesn't work is me and we. We only use this, we that, we that. It's not about you, it's about them. And, I really like asking opinions. Okay, so all this effort, all this thought, you've got this amazing post that people are sharing and all this stuff, and you want them to engage with you, and then they say, hey, my colleagues and I are thinking about getting lunch. Are you open today? And they sent that at 10:30. And you don't respond until 12 or till 1 or whatever. Too late. You've missed the boat. It's pretty instantaneous. So there are apps and there's setting on your apps that give you notifications that someone, posted something. It's great to respond to them quickly, thank them, ask them more questions, oh, okay, so thank you, you liked our enchiladas. Did you know that we cater lunch for small businesses, minimum four person, orders. We'll have it ready in a half hour. Oh, I didn't know that. That's a great idea. And another thing about the engagement and quickly responding is, like I said, there are a lot of haters. Oh, I heard the rice isn't vegan, or I hear they use all GMO stuff. Actually, no, we don't. All of our vendors are, organic certified. We can source all of it. Here's a list of all of our suppliers, as a matter of fact. You can just really shut them down quickly. If there's negative people out there or their complaints or something, we're so sorry we forgot your rice in your order. Please, lunch is on us and a friend tomorrow, whatever. You're responding quickly and you're kind of stopping it right as soon as you can. So that's another good reason to be on top of the responses. Here's some other things to do as far as getting engagement. Polls and surveys, some of this stuff is built in. SurveyMonkey is a great plugin that add-on that a lot of social media sites will talk with nicely. Contests and giveaways, you do have to be careful about that with laws, and if you have alcohol, or sometimes logistics about how'd you pick the winner, or things like that. Just be careful about that. I haven't even gone into this, but in your social media platforms, there's analytics. So it'll say, this is your top 3 posts. This is the posts that did well. This is the time they did well. Some of these analytics are freaky scary. They used, 78% of your views were on mobile. They were female between this age group with this income. This is what they're interested in. Like, it's scary how some of these analytics, the information they can give. So use those analytics. And then if, 8:30 a.m. on Sunday morning apparently is not the best time to post. So, 10:30 on Tuesdays is a fantastic time to post. So stop posting at 8:30 in the morning on Sunday. It helps you figure out how to get the most juice out of your posts. Play around, experience. I don't like emojis that much, but the statistics say they work really well. I don't know. Play around. I think experimenting is what works, and what doesn't work is you can do that.
I think it depends on the tone of your business too. Like if you're super professional kind of thing, probably not great. If you're kind of trying to be friendly and more interactive, or not just interactive, but like more person to person now.
Yeah. And in general, I would say younger people are more down with it than older folks. So what's your demographic? And if they were, if their first social media platform was Snapchat, they probably have a much higher tolerance for that, or expect that, than people on Twitter, for example. Which I don't even know if you can do it on Twitter, if you can use those. I think this might be our last slide here. So this is a Sierra Small Business Development, or Sierra SBDC class. That's who is supporting this. They provide one-to-one business consulting. It's available to you for free. Tons of experts. You're on this call, so you probably know about it, but I would love to work with you. There's tons of other consultants out there, and they can give you help getting loans, or just a wide variety of support and consultants at your disposal. There's something called personas. If you're not sure who your ideal customer is, or who your customer is, this link helps you figure it out. You can make it up. It's Gunther, he's 46 years old. He drives a Cadillac, and he shops at Walmart, and yada, yada, yada. And you're like, okay, that's who my customer is. That's who I think my customer is. And so when you're doing a post, you're like, would Gunther like this, or would he not like this? Would he relate to this or not relate to this? And it's a tool to help you define who your ideal customer is. Sometimes you can make a few of those. Hootsuite and CoSchedule, it's just a few of these online tools that help you automate your social media posting. It really saves you a lot of time. Canva is getting better and better and better. I don't know if people have used Canva. I'm curious, does anyone use Canva?
I do.
Yeah. How do you find it?
I find it really intuitive, and it does a lot of cool stuff, and really pretty simple kind of graphics. I don't use it for my personal business, but I used it for work previously. Yeah.
Yeah, so Canva, it's a lot of free stuff, including images. image is so important now. If you are a horrible graphic designer, know that, and please don't post shoddy images. You do all this work, you have this great content, your business is riding on your success, and you have a lousy looking image. Please don't put that on there. Instead, go to a site like Canva, where they will give you templates and yeah, Canva, C-A-N-V-A. They will give you all kinds of templates. It may look a little clip arty, but it won't look crappy. Don't post crappy stuff. It's easy, it's drag and drop. This week earlier, like right now, my PowerPoint template is like, I'm not super stoked on it. I did a presentation on Tuesday. And so I have this new design, new template that I'm going to start using, and it's in Canva, and it actually gives you animation. It gives you all these choices. It's super easy, and you can just export to PowerPoint. Thank you. It has images where it's like, oh, optimize this for Instagram, optimize this for my top banner on Facebook, make a flyer, it's just all kinds of options. So I highly recommend that. Adobe has, I think it's, I should know this, Spark, I think it's called. There's other tools like that. I don't want to just pick on one, but I'm super stoked on Canva. There's Pixabay as stock image. And I gave on one of the YouTube videos of the personality, Vanessa, I really like her. And she does some great, how to get more followers on Instagram. Here's my story. How to, like, what not to do. And it's, she's engaging, and it's just one person I like. Someone had said that open-ended questions are really great. I agree with that. So we have a little bit of time. I really hope that this has given you what you're looking for. If you want to dig deeper, then reach out to the Sierra SBDC and look at their calendar of events. There's all kinds of ongoing educational classes, one-to-one business consultants, and I am super open to questions. I'll have this, like I said, this video and the presentation sent out to you, but it might take a day or so to do that. So Katie, yeah.
Was specifically with Instagram. My husband doesn't know from computers. He's a knife maker. And I talk for him. I rave about him. When I post pictures, I say, you know, Jay knows how much I love the process. And then I'll post pictures of the process. Is that professional to do the talking for him? I've tried to talk as if I was him, and I probably shouldn't feel this way, but I feel like everybody knows him, knows that isn't him. And anyway, I just wondered if that is totally not right to do. Talk for somebody else.
Yeah, I get it. I have a few things to say about that. One is, you know, you have to know your audience. If it's all word of mouth, and if the same group of 100 people are the loyal customers, and that is your customer base, and you're happy with that, and that's what you're going for, then they have this personal relationship with you, and that's probably fine. Earlier in the presentation, it was something about best practices and not using you know, we or I, it's about them. So I would suggest trying some posts and reframing it. So, we sell sharp knives as opposed, or make the finest cuts on any material with our hand forged steel knives. That, the second one is more about them than you. Clearly it's you making the knives. One thing, if your husband is the face behind it, I would, and you feel uncomfortable about editing videos, Facebook Live is an awesome, or Instagram, any of those platforms, you can shoot video, live stream video. Here's Jim making the next batch of knives. Say hi, Jim. Hi, everybody. Hammer, 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 hammer. Whoa, that's cool. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at the forge. Look at the anvil. Listen to the sound. So cool. It's 2 minutes. Then you have this video, and it doesn't have to be perfectly edited. It's by its nature, it's a little rough. So if he's shy, that might be a good way to get, no, he's not shy. That might be a good way to get him on camera. Cool. Anyone else? Oh wow, we might get out for early. Okay, well, thank you all so much. This has been fantastic. You'll get a survey. I hope you fill that out. I'm always open to your ideas and way to improve. And I hope to see you all soon. And thank you. Bye-bye.